Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Jonathan. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about one of the hardest things about being in the military, and that is adapting to change. So as you guys know, last year in about January, I got moved over from doing my normal 3DOX2 like cyber systems operations job to being pulled to work on the XPI team, which is a team where we automate things, and I'm still technically a server administrator. However, we're working on automation for a continuous deploying pipeline, and we're working towards, supporting programmers, right? It's a platform team to implement DevSecOps, right? So if you know what those things are, that's good. If you don't, you should go look them up if you are interested in the IT world. However, it was very obscure to say, to get moved from doing a normal job, in my old shop to getting completely pulled to go do something completely different. I didn't have any say in the matter. I didn't have, any previous communication about it. I literally walked into work one day, they pulled me out and they said, go do this. And I was like, wait, what? And I was super negative about it at first. I made a video about it and I kind of highlighted it. And I don't think I was as negative as I actually was off camera, but I was not happy about it. I didn't want to work with those people. I didn't want to leave the people that I was already friends with, the flight that I already had, the leadership that I already had. I didn't want to get a new supervisor. It was really awkward for a while too, because I was a part of that team, even though I was still technically on paper a part of the other team, and so I wasn't sure who to go to if I wanted to take leave or if I had to talk to somebody about it leadership-wise. It was really confusing. Eventually, it all got flushed out. I ended up, on paper, switching to the other team, and I adapted, and that is one of the huge parts of the military. Again, almost a year later, we are going to be adapting again. We just found out last week that the programming shop that we work in is going to be going to an old way of working, because we were working on something that was super innovative. We were working on setting up a platform team in our shop so that the programmers can push updates to certain deployments in the production environment super fast. Instead of taking 1 month to 3 months to 6 months to a year to push an update to a website or an application or whatever the case may be, it's going to take 30 minutes to an hour. So basically, we have to go through certain tests and certain security requirements when we're making programs, especially for making programs in the military, obviously, because it's a part of the Department of Defense. It needs to have lots of high security. And so there's a lot of tests implemented for that. It takes a long time, right? We have to give the application to somebody, they have to test it. If it fails, they push it back to us. It's a constant thing. But when we're trying to automate it and set up a continuous pipeline to do that for us, we're basically taking those testers' jobs and putting it on the computer and saying, okay, run it against these certain tests. If it passes, then it's good to go. So it's literally going to save months and months and months of work and time, where that work and time can be spent on other things, right? They've invested thousands of dollars into this program, into XPI and all sorts of stuff. I was on the platform team developing the pipeline for that with the rest of the team there, and they're all really smart. And there were some programmers in there. We had some security people in there. We had server administrators like us in there. And then in the shop, there's also other teams of programmers, and they were working on certain applications and all sorts of stuff like that. They were not working on the old previous applications. This was a whole new environment, whole new development, all sorts of stuff like that. But there was an issue with finding some certain things for that project. And so the whole project got scrapped last week, essentially. It's still there. I'm still on that team, and us server administrators are still going to be working on that. But since it wasn't really going anywhere, there was a lack of communication somewhere, which is fine, it happens. They are taking the programmers and moving them back to their old teams, and they're going to be working on the old applications that they developed a long time ago. Basically, what I'm saying, without getting super in-depth like I already have, is we have to adapt all over again. A year later, the whole thing got scrapped. We've been working, other people have been working years on this project. I've been working for a year on this project along with other people, and it all kind of seems like the work has been for nothing. We still have it, and we're still going to be pushing forward for it, but since it's not a main priority right now, it almost seems as if, there's no point in pursuing that mission. There's no point in even working on a day-to-day basis right now, because where is it going to end up in the long run when they're going to be focusing on these other applications that are older? So obviously, this is kind of the problem. It's not that big of a deal. That's kind of where I'm getting at with this. You have to adapt to change in the military. I wasn't expecting that. that isn't the choice that I would have made, but it's perfectly fine. Obviously, I'm not in that leadership role, and so it's not my job to make that decision. It's my job to go to work and do the best job that I can, and so I have to adapt to that. And I just want to let you all know before you join the Air Force that that can happen to you. You could get deployed with a week's notice. You could, have a life-changing moment that's going to change the course of your whole entire Air Force experience. You could end up, doing a completely different job one year, and then the next year the whole thing gets scrapped. So you just have to be aware that when you're joining the Air Force and when you sign those certain amount of years, or you're planning on doing a career, whatever like that, you have to be able to adapt. That is a very important skill to have, because now I'm gonna go to work on Monday and I'm gonna be working on the same thing, but we're gonna lose people. People are gonna go work on other teams, so we're gonna have to pick up where they left off, and so it's gonna be this whole thing with just readjusting, and that's something that you have to keep in mind. You can never get too comfortable. Things are gonna change, especially with the basic concept that people get out of the military. I would say most of the people in the IT cyber side of things in the military end up getting out because they can make a lot more money on the outside world. And so you might have someone that's super knowledgeable one month that knows absolutely everything. They are the anchor of the team, and the next month they're gone. They're working for Google or something, and you're just kind of there trying to pick up where they left off, and that's a super big responsibility, but it's just something you have to adapt to. I just want to make a quick video about that. I know I haven't uploaded it in a while. It's nothing against you guys or anything like that. However, there is only so much that I can put out about the Air Force. A lot of you know that my passions are in graphic design and branding and art and photography and all types of things like that. And so I love creating these videos. However, when it comes to coming up with ideas for videos and stuff like that, it's a little bit tricky to constantly be thinking about the Air Force, because on the outside of work, I'm not constantly thinking about the Air Force. I'm thinking about after I get out, and I'm planning for after I get out, and looking for internships and all sorts of stuff like that. So if you have any video ideas, feel free to leave them down below, because I would love to see those and take them into consideration. But if you are watching this, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking out with me. Hopefully you all understand where my headspace is at. I do plan on uploading pretty regularly, especially in 2020 and moving forward, because I kind of hit this climax in the Air Force where I was making videos about BMT and tech school and stuff like that, and then I was making videos about being in the Air Force and my active life. Now I'm going to start getting out of the Air Force. I'm going to start going to TAPS, learning about the reserves and all types of stuff like that. So you can definitely be looking forward to videos like that. This whole channel has been about my experience through the military, and we have about 1 year left, so I am looking forward to sticking it out with you guys. I'm super thankful for where we are and from where we started. I had 500 subscribers when I started this whole thing, and we're at about 5.8K right now, and that is absolutely amazing. If you haven't subscribed and you're not along for the journey yet, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I do upload a video. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about this video or anything related to the Air Force or my life in general, feel free to leave them down below. And thank you again. Peace out.